what I'm going to talk about today is what is the science behind this brand building activity that Coca-Cola has done. Coca-Cola is the number one brand. You know the late Charlie Munger, the assistant of Warren Buffett, you know him? He invested in this brand because he said only one reason. This brand has created a Lollapalooza effect. I mean, he has used this word, Lollapalooza effect, in the sense, lot of behavioral forces coming at one single direction, traveling in one single direction. The color, the font style, the celebrity association, even after you drink Coca-Cola, the taste it triggers inside your mind, inside your tongue, everything creates a Lollapalooza effect. You can make a note of this word and do a Google research if you want later. It creates a Lollapalooza effect. Confluence of lot of behaviors, right? See, now I want to explain you, I'll give you a lot of case studies, but I also want to explain you certain psychological concepts. How many of you are willing to listen to that? So that you will have a lot of takeaways inside your mind as to what's really happening behind all these brands. Why these brands have these color codes, themes, fonts, slogans, advertisements and all those things, right? Okay, so here it is. Branding is basically conditioning. Let's imagine, let's not even think like an entrepreneur. Let's imagine like we are consumers, normal human beings, and see how branding really works. Okay? So now this experiment is done by a gentleman called Pavlov, a Russian behavioral psychologist. What he did is he just observed this quadrant first. He made this experiment to understand how conditioning really works. How not just humans, how even entire beings get conditioned, right? So in number one, what he did before conditioning is he kept a plate of food in front of a dog. That dog salivated. You know the word salivation, right? Something happens in your tongue. So that was a natural conditioning to the food, right? A food, if you keep in front of a dog, it salivates. It's quite natural, right? Hope you're getting it. What he did is, number two, he removed the food and created a whistle. Made a whistle. No conditioning. Dog didn't respond to any of these things. Then third, what he did is he blew the whistle and then kept the food. Then dog starts salivating for the food. He did it multiple times. What he used to do is whistle, keep the food. Whistle, keep the food. Every single day repeatedly for some time. Then one day he observed he didn't even keep the food inside the dog. He just blew the whistle. Dog started salivating. You're getting my point? How you pair something totally unrelated, right? Totally unrelated. This is just totally unrelated to love, affection, and everything, right? How did this happen? All this pairing, associations, meaning over a period of time continuously for us, right? This is the foundational element of branding which we need to understand. All brands invest in their brand assets, logos and all those things just to condition us. And you as an entrepreneur, why you need to create all those brand associations, logos and everything is you just move beyond conventional product and service and condition your audience, condition your customers. And we will explore how this happens. I'm going to talk about 5 principles. This principle is called Pavlovian conditioning. If you theoretically want to explore a lot of things around it, you can study Pavlovian conditioning. This is the foundational aspect which we need to understand when it comes to brand building. What is Pavlovian conditioning? I've shared it with you, right? Pairing two unrelated things. Color red, thirsty. What is the connection there? No connection at all, right? What is the connection between happiness and a carbonated drink? No connection at all. But you pair these two things, happiness and a carbonated drink, and communicate it consistently to your audience. They connect a normal commoditized carbonated drink with happiness, with real magic, and you build $1 billion worth of business. That's branding, right? Which brand comes to your mind? Dairy Milk? Cadbury, right? See the amount of... See, now you have a lot of D2C brands coming, right? We see a lot of brands getting launched every single day in Amazon, other e-commerce platforms. But why it's very difficult to bypass all these conventional brands is because they have invested in the color codes theme, which acts like a conditioning. You say that when you see this chocolate, right? Pairing, chocolate. At a much deeper level, what happens is, I'll talk about that. All these are brand codes, themes which you have. When we travel and see this symbol, what happens? When we feel hungry, we enter into McDonald's. This one? Domino's Pizza. See the amount of investment they have made just to pair. We technically call this as category codes, right? If you want to eat pizza, this symbol, pairing. So now I'm getting too conceptual here, principle, right? See, we humans have two layers of your mind, conscious mind and subconscious mind. In even yogic psychology or even Buddhist psychology, they call something as seeds. I mean, in deep inside our subconscious, whatever we have done from the day we are born till date, whatever content we consume, whatever we have heard, advertisement we have seen, the messages of our parents, are the most important conditioning. Everything that underwent, it's there. 80-90%, and I really don't know. People even say that even from your past life something is here hidden. There are a lot of seeds inside us. Each and in every one of us, there are a lot of seeds. Seeds of goodness, seeds of anger, seeds of love, seeds of compassion. These are general characteristics, emotional level. And if you have consumed coffee right from your birth, if your family routine is coffee, your coffee seed is so strong inside you. If whatever it is, these are called seeds. If you happen to eat a lot of non-vegetarian food right from your childhood, your seed of non-vegetarian food is so strong inside. What happens is, when we travel outside or when we mingle with the world, if something comes as a trigger to a conscious mind, these seeds come up. That's why if you're passionate about something, let's say you're passionate about chocolates, when you even a mild trigger of this blue color, a lot of you, I guess, were not able to relate to Coca-Cola, good in a way, but take anything which you are passionate about. Take anything which you are passionate about. Let me share my story. I am a passionate book reader. If I go through my LinkedIn profile, if someone talks about a new book, something gets triggered inside me. Something gets triggered inside me. It's there deep inside me, right? When I see something, and technically it's called samskara, mental formations. Right, in yogic culture, this is true. Samskaras are true because that's how I'm predisposed. So I see that book, go to Amazon, check about the book, check out a lot of things I do after that. Just one small trigger. I research about that author. I sometimes go and even buy that book, So lot of things happen because the seeds of knowledge, it may be, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, the seeds of knowledge deeply imbibed in me because I've been consuming books a lot of time in my life. Seeds, yeah. Practice, I mean repetition, like we have seen in the previous case of Pavlovian conditioning, right? Everything happens through repetition. What we do day in and day out gets registered in our subconscious so deeply inside us. And when a trigger is present in that environment, that seed comes up so naturally. It could be food. Even when we travel and see McDonald's symbol, if you're passionate about hamburgers, you get triggered, right? So that's what happens. And the reason why you need to understand this when it comes to brand building is this is the reason why exactly brands advertise in the first place. They want to trigger their audience, correct? But not every audience is created equal. Not everyone will get triggered. I may not get triggered for a Coca-Cola's advertising, right? I may not get triggered for Cadbury's advertising. I may not get triggered for Zomato's advertising, but for some advertisement I get triggered. So you as an entrepreneur, I urge you to switch roles. You are a consumer and entrepreneur, right? On the two levels. Think about it, and when you go out, venture out and live your life, see what you get triggered very frequently. What's happening inside you? And even notice what's happening to people who are closest to you, your wife, your father, your mother, how they get triggered, what they talk about it more frequently. We call it as passion, right? Vasana in yogic culture, because I see a lot of relevance in the yogic culture and branding, right? So that's why I thought of sharing this. Your beliefs, emotions, habits, everything is there inside us. So be wary of this mental model. Your seeds, your audience's seeds. You generally would have heard this term, buyer persona, right? How many of you heard about this term, buyer persona? Now you think about buyer's vasana. Next time when you do your marketing strategy, think about buyer's vasana. What's happening inside my audience? What is this? Second principle is, humans seek meaning in everything we do. We have seen this, right? Flower. We seek meaning in everything we do. How many of you know this? Very famous mental model, right? It's highly relevant to brand building. Highly relevant to brand building and understanding consumers, right? Let's say I want to eat food. I want to have some idli. I can even go and have some idli for 10 rupee, 20 rupee in a roadside shop. At a very basic level, if I want to satisfy my hunger, I can do that. Next layer, I can even go, if I want to go along with my wife and son, I can pick up another decent hotel, go there and have my food. As I move above in the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. But if I want to celebrate my wedding anniversary, I will have food for my wedding anniversary. Will I have that dinner in a roadside shop for 20 rupees, 25 rupees? Where do I go? I choose a better hotel, right? I'm seeing a meaning there. It's not just food. I'm secure. Self-esteem, love, belonging, traveling there, up. So what I wanted to understand when you see this Maslow's hierarchy of needs is, when people want to consume something for their basic needs, there is no opportunity for branding at all. Even haircutting, right? See the market. The market is exactly classified based on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Let's take salon market. You can go to a normal 50 rupee salon shop, unbranded salon shop, and make up our hair. We can even go to next layer if we feel that our hair is important, we want to look good in front of our friends. We can go to green trends or naturals. No, that's also not sufficient. Go to Tony and Guy. That's how the market is also positioned. Every layer you have for functional low value cars in Maruti Suzuki. Then, okay, I'm further elevating in my life. I'm moving up the ladder. I seek more meaning. I seek more social status. What do I do? Just think about this. We all do this, by the way. What happened to Tata Sumo and Indica, by the way? You have any idea? Why those two cars didn't do well? Initially, it was launched for the consumer market. We all know that, right? A lot of us would have bought. Tata Sumo and Indica by Tata was launched to the consumer market. After some point of time, it has lost its momentum. Any guesses? Good point. What happened behind that? What are you talking about? Wonderful. Yes. Yes. What happened was, we buy cars for status. That's the natural mindset among Indians. Status in the sense, I don't buy cars to move from point A to point B. But transportation, that's functional aspect of a car, right? But we buy car when we get married, when we get promotion in our work, lot of meaning around it. Tata Sumo and Indica, what happened to them was, after launching, lot of cab aggregators started using those two cars for lot of other tourist purposes. At one point of time, when you use it purely for rental purposes, there is no meaning in it. There is no social status in it. So they lost their market share in the consumer market. So that's what happened. That's the reason why Tata Sumo and Indica disappeared from the consumer market and became a fleet operator car. So see how perceptions, meaning play a role even in big brands, right? Even if you don't do anything, people will create meaning out of it. We create meaning out of it. We create meaning out of nothing, right? Big brands face these problems. Even small brands, startups face these problems. We see things from a very logical, functional aspect. But if we understand those perceptions and meanings, we'll be able to do well, right? That's what you need to move away from conventional way of seeing things to seeing things from a psychological angle, from the angle of meaning creation, right? From the angle of conditioning. If you see things from all these angles, you will be able to make better decisions.